A little while ago, the Gates of Hell developers teased their upcoming addition to Gates of Hell called Liberation, which will see American and German forces clash in the Western European theater. You can find a link to it down in the description below. Let's first take a look at the full Gates of Hell Liberation trailer, and then we'll dive into what you can expect from the upcoming Liberation DLC.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you.
Ever since the release of Gates of Hell, people have been wanting to see the Western Front represented in the game. The Valor and Mace mods have been great in the meantime, but honestly I am excited to get my hands on some developer created content, especially the large amount of single player and conquest content that will ship with Liberation. There will be 6 American single player campaign missions. Expect these to have a little bit more substance and story to them, and additionally there will also be 4 American skirmish missions, which are just a little bit less about story, but allow you to choose different doctrines, which influences the units you can call in during the battle. Besides the Americans, the Germans will also get 6 new campaign missions, though it's not really known what we can expect from these missions. There's a couple of things we can kind of guesstimate. So based on the trailer and some of the screenshots, we might see German and American paratroopers fight over Karitan, as well as the US Rangers attacking Point Duoc. Hopefully the Gates of Hell developers will let me showcase some of the missions a little bit ahead of the release, so you know what we can expect from this new DLC. Do keep in mind, I do assume that all these German missions will also fully be focused on this Western Front. The Americans will of course be available in the game's Conquest mode, which is honestly my favorite mode in Gates of Hell. They're going to have an additional 25 Conquest maps come with the Liberation DLC. These Conquest maps obviously have to be populated with a whole new set of World War II Western Front assets, and the new 500 plus editor assets will probably take good care of that. Now I really look forward to seeing what some of the amazing mod makers in the community like Stormfeeder or Wiga can do with all this new stuff. For you multiplayer lovers, there will be 20 new multiplayer maps as well, though I assume there's probably some overlap between these new Conquest and multiplayer maps, still giving you quite a big amount of new maps to do battle on in the Western Front. I do wonder if these will be locked behind the DLC. If I were to host a PvP session, I kinda wish that non-DLC owners could still at least play on these Western Front maps, even if they can't play as the Americans or use any of the new assets in their editor, just to prevent fragmenting the PvP community into DLC and non-DLC owners when it comes to the map selection. A new faction means new vehicles, infantry skins, and weapons, and it definitely looks like the Liberation DLC will deliver on that with a combined 700 plus new assets divided into the following: 50 new small arms, 150 new American and German vehicles, cannons, tanks, and more, and over 500 new human skins, again assuming this is for both the Americans and the Germans. Small arms wise, we can confirm some like the M1 Garand, Thompson, M1A carbine, and the bar just by looking at the pictures or the trailer, though the regular M1 carbine, as well as a 30 cal, the M1911, the grease gun, Springfield, and the Springfield sniper will most likely also, of course, make an appearance. What else will make up this list of 50 small arms, and if the Germans will potentially be receiving any new toys, we'll have to see down the line. Obviously, there are a ton of new vehicles for the American faction in the DLC, though personally I find the addition of the Pershing tank specifically worth mentioning. Honestly, I'm happy that the developers did add the Pershing to help balance the Americans in PvP against the German or Soviet top tier heavy tanks. Furthermore, besides ground vehicles, you can expect the Liberation DLC to add some aircraft as well as ships to Gates of Hell, though I assume these ships will most likely be more decorative or perhaps just stuff like landing craft deploying troops on the beaches of D-Day. Some new German vehicles like the Panzerwerfer, the Wespe, or the Jagdpanzer IV have been confirmed, though again we'll have to see what else maybe will be added to the Germans as part of this DLC. Human skin wise, and Carly said it that really sounded disgusting, we have confirmed the US Airborne, Regular Army, Tank Crew, as well as Rangers, and also either the 2nd or 4th Armored. Personally, I'm really hoping we'll see some of that special camo the 2nd Armored used for a short while in Normandy, just for some extra variety. Going on a tiny tangent, after the Italian army surrendered, some of their Italian camouflage called Telo Mimetico, hopefully I didn't horribly mispronounce that, was actually used by the 1st and 12th SS in the Normandy theater, so maybe that'll be part of some of the new skins for the German forces. However, I'm always curious to see what stuff I missed, got wrong, or just any additional info some of you may have in the comments, so feel free to get to writing down below. For now, that's all we know about the Liberation DLC. I do hope to bring you some missions, conquest, or skirmish content to the channel soon, and I'll catch you in the next one.